FaZe Clan is defying expectations at Valorant Champions Tour NA Masters. Recently, I saw this team ranked top 3 at best, but they've proven that their aggressive style of play isn't just them pugging, it's a legitimate strategy that can win games. Key to that strategy has been Babybay on Jett. So, I had to ask him a little bit about how they do it.
I think people were just looking, like a lot of these players were just looking at Overwatch and being like, yeah, like, oh, like you play Reinhardt or something, you know what I mean? But that's not the case. There's actually a lot of aim that goes into it, and that's why we are FaZe is pretty much like one of the most mechanically gifted teams out there. Like none of us are tank players.
Maybe it's because 4 of these players came from Overwatch, or maybe it's because they failed to find their stride earlier in Valorant. But whatever the reason, it's time to stop sleeping on FaZe Clan. And it's time to embrace the smeag. Before we delve into the mysteries of the smeag, I have to ask, why aren't you subbed to the channel? Hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and that way you'll know as soon as this fresh content is available for those eyeballs. FaZe Clan has had the same player roster for the past 7 months. They added analyst Trippy in November before recently promoting him to head coach this month. The roster featured 4 Overwatch players, Babybay, Corey, Zachary, and Raucus, and they added a 5th, a CS player, in Marved. As you probably know by now, early on in the pro scene, it was the former Counter-Strike players, not the Overwatch players, that got the hype. For a lot of that time, FaZe Clan was considered a good, but certainly not dominant roster. That perception started to change when they swept 100 Thieves at the final NA Masters qualifier on March 7th. Now, this past weekend, FaZe head coach Trippy tweeted something interesting after his team's wins over XSET and Envy. He said that his team's aggressive approach to the game is an inherently anti-CSGO strategy.
I'm not saying FaZe isn't tactical. Like, I don't want that to be confused. They are, and they've improved so fucking much since adding Coach Trippy on their team. Like, it's night and day, like from a month ago. They're way better as a team since adding that guy as a coach. They're playing a very different style, and it might be the style to play. Like, they're playing the correct style.
We just took a step back, and we stopped trialing a lot of coaches, and we let our coach now, who's Coach Trippy, do his thing with us like he did when we had the initial success. And everything just felt like it was just coming back together again, and we found a new play style where it's still aggressive, we still do crazy things, but there's a reason behind it now.
Now, this approach has come to be known as smeaging, a reference to the greedy hobbit turned smelly cave dweller Smeagol, or Gollum, from The Lord of the Rings.
Sneaky little hobbitses.
Now, Trippy apparently had a hand in coining the term, but after this weekend, it's really exploded in popularity in the Valorant community. Babybay explained his understanding of the term on a recent edition of the Plat Chat Valorant podcast.
So when you're just running in and you just give no fucks, pardon my French, that's smeaging, man. You're just going for it, you're going full smeag. I like to look at us now as the sophisticated smeag. So it's we've evolved a little bit where we're actually smeaging for a purpose.
But obviously just running in blindly won't actually be a winning strategy against the best teams, especially those who have players with years of experience in CSGO, right? Well, aggression is only part of what smeaging is really about, because another huge part of it is being as hard to read as possible. One of Trippy's goals was to make FaZe's playstyle the most unpredictable in the game.
That is the playground of FaZe. That's where they want to be. That's where they do their best work. And they are just crushing it again. Oh no, not like this.
This past weekend at Masters, FaZe defeated both XSET and Envy in 2-0 matches, and the smeag was on full display. They're aggressive even on defense. They're willing to play retake because of Babybay's Jett and Corey's Raze.
Swaps out for the Vandal. The dash across. He's got a lot to deal with right now. If they play the swing correctly, it shouldn't be possible for Babybay. Oh no, again!
No way,
Babybay
man,
makes it happen.
And neither opponent had much in the way of an answer.
FaZe are very ready for this. Oh my goodness. Zach was not even incredibly quick to that fight, and still it's going to be an easy 2K. It's just not. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just disgusting to watch.
But why exactly is this playstyle so effective for FaZe? I mean, lots of people call this game a CSGO clone, right? It can't be good to hold W. I asked Babybay about his team's aggressive style and how it compares to a slower approach.
You try to get a pick, and once you're up numbers, like they're missing so much more than you are at that point, because you're forcing them to run in without like one of their big util heroes. Let's say you killed like a breach. Like now what? Now what are you gonna do? Now you're running into a site against people that like are on heroes that are meant for dueling. I just think when you have like people like, you know, me and Corey that are just like really like annoying to deal with, I feel like, for teams. That's what I've been told by like other teams. Like where like we do random stuff, you know what I mean? Like stuff that people don't expect. I think it's just hard to deal with for these people.
Another huge part of it is that Babybay has, by his own admission, made progress in really figuring Jett out and pushing her to her limit. He's getting creative and giving his opponents different looks.
Kind of know like the Jett boundaries very well now, and I'm a lot smarter, and it's getting me a lot more kills, like free kills. Like yeah, like I get that first pick or second pick, and then like if I just like if I know like, okay, I can probably push this, but you know what? And teams probably expect I'm gonna push for more kills, but you know what? If I sit back and I play it like a cringe corner or a cringe angle, off angle, I'm probably gonna get more kills that way. So, you know, it's just like I just added more depth into my gameplay, and it's not just so like one-dimensional where I'm just always just going.
The rest of the team supports this playstyle too. Corey, for example, is a cunning Raze player who uses satchel charges to escape sticky situations, but also to further pressure opponents by creating new angles. Okay, now that we know what it actually is, this smeaging thing has really blown up. It's not only fun to watch, it's a pretty funny meme that both FaZe Clan and Babybay have embraced. And Babybay has doubled down on his Twitch stream, referring to his fans as the Smeag Academy, and he even made an emote so his fans can take the meme even deeper.
Non-subs balding for Smeag emote. Hey, yeah, just sub forehead. I'm just playing. Well, maybe we'll try to get a BTTV one. Some kind of Smeag. Some kind of like budget Smeag.
Between the meme, his coming out party in his last few matches, and his own hilarious personality, Babybay's Twitch viewership has exploded.
Still left the game? Bro, he left the game.
No.
Yeah. Hey, somebody go and spawn and kill their breach. All I'm saying is their breach left the game and they win a round. Yo, he rage quits and they win the round.
Personally, I'd love to see a whole summer of Smeag. But there's one more thing that makes this team so exciting. Like I said before, it's composed of 4 Overwatch players and a CS player who never cracked tier 1. Listen, while Valorant may have some agent abilities that feel more at home in Overwatch, the weapons, maps, and strategies are far closer to CS. So naturally, many assumed that CS players would be frontrunners, especially in this early period of the game when things are still being figured out. But when I talked to Babybay, he told me that Overwatch experience was a different kind of preparation, and one that had its own advantages.
When I come to this game, it's just like, oh my god, like I'm using an op and I don't have to shoot them in the head. I can just shoot them in the body once and they're dead. Like, come on, dude. You know, like I'm sitting here shooting Roadhogs like 5 times in the head to kill them as Widow. It's like, that was so annoying.
Another thing he pointed out was that Overwatch has a strong vertical element. Shooting a Widow that's using her grapple or sniping a flying Pharah requires movements that just aren't as common in CS. But with Jett's dashes or Raze's satchel, sometimes your enemy is literally dropping in on you in Valorant. So while many teams in various regions have suggested that the game will inevitably slow down, FaZe are flooring it, embracing the chaos and daring their opponents to figure them out. And listen, at this early stage of competition, that's an exciting prospect. On Friday, FaZe will face off against Sentinels in Winners Finals, and Babybay and Tens will have the chance to go head to head. We actually did a video about the TenZ situation, so be sure to check that out if you haven't yet. There were obviously still questions about the roster. Even with TenZ's firepower, how would he be able to fit into Sentinel's system? Who the hell would play Jett? Would Shazam be able to figure out the best way for all of this to work? And to that last question, the answer was a resounding yes.
At the beginning of the year, it was in their ability to retake specifically against Sentinels, but now that TenZ is in the fold, I don't know that you're going to be nearly as effective as you were before. The ace is stolen, but it doesn't matter.
FaZe Clan could be changing our perceptions of what competitive Valorant can be. Whether the smeag remains dominant or teams adapt to the pressure, FaZe Clan is simply one of the most exciting teams in esports today. I consider him to be the chariot, bro, because he's going forward, bro. Maybe there's like literally one person who watches this video who's like, either they like understand like the symbolism or they just played Persona, who knows? And they're like, oh yeah, Babybay just like, he's going forward all the time smeaging and he chose the chariot. That makes so much sense, but there's gonna be like exactly one human being. Everybody else is gonna be like, I have no fucking idea what that card means. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I literally changed my Riot ID to Smeag of Legends. I think it's pretty dank, but you can only change it once every 30 days. So if this thing burns out in 30 days, bro, people are gonna be like, what the hell? Personally, I'd love to see a whole summer of Smeag. Yeah, you know, I'd love to just sit in my backyard, you know? Watch the sunset, see some Smeag,